Ever since Huyan was announced over on the JP side of things, I have been very excited for her release over on the NA side of things over here. And I mean, as soon as we found out that she is super adorable through the event that's going on right now, I have been looking forward to this character with bated breath. Now, does that mean me, as an FGO content creator, looking forward to this servant, does that mean that she is broken? No, not at all whatsoever. In fact, this is a very easily skippable servant. You do not need them really for anything. I can't remember a single setup that required you to have Huyan on your account, right? It's not like she's absolutely necessary for everything, but she is pretty decent and I really like her. So we're gonna do a video on her, breaking her down in today's video. And you know, maybe you're like me, maybe sometimes it's not all about the meta. Maybe sometimes you don't care how good a servant is. Sometimes you just wanna summon on a servant that you really like. And at least for me, that's going to be Huyan, where we're going to be summoning for her over on my stream on Monday, starting about 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you come out to that if you want to see your boy. Hopefully, fingers crossed, get maybe 1 Huyan, 2 Huyans, 3 Huyans. We'll see about that. I'll be happy with just the 1, but as per usual, if you enjoy these daily FGO videos and you like being informed on all the things that are going on with the NA and JP side of things, make sure you like the video and you subscribe to the channel, as it is free and it helps me out more than you know. But with that being said, let's start diving into her kit, starting off with her hits, of which she's got some pretty good hits going on here. 4 hits on the double quick cards, 4 on the singular arts card, 3 on the double buster, and 5 hits on that extra. You guys already know, if you're a long-time viewer of the channel, 5 hits on that omnipotent extra attack that Gen stars NP and does big boy damage. Is something we like to see over here. I mean, hey, they were going to give me a servant for me, might as well make the extra attack good. It's also really nice that her deck consists of double buster and double quick because of how ruler Scotty and caster Scotty function. See, functionally, if you use both of the Scotties, you can get 100% buster crit damage and 100% quick crit damage to basically have 4 of your cards having 100% bonus crit damage, which is like having hero creation on almost all of your cards. It's really, really strong. The only weakness of Huyan, I think, is the fact that her NP gain is a little bit on the lower side, and she only has the 1 arts card. As you'll see in some of the farming in the background, sure, I am using original Scotty and a ruler Scotty to get the farming done, but I am also plug sitting in an Oberon, which should still be more than enough. So we're losing on a little bit of looping potential, but her NP refund is not really the best. And because of the way that her kit is built, I think she's going to be better going into challenge quest than she is going to be as a looper. That being said, you can still use her as a looper and get some pretty good mileage. Obviously, you will have better results if you have your own Huyan and your own ruler Scotty, because then you can do, you know, double ruler Scotty, plug suit in the original Scotty, or plug suit in an Oberon, something along those lines. But it does still show at a baseline level that she's just able to get the job done, but I would have liked her to have a little bit more NP gain ideally. Now let's start diving into some of these skills. Starting off with our first skill over here. This one is a pretty good, solid smorgasbord of effects over here. So at base, you're getting 30% quick and buster, which is good to see, especially in this new kind of double Scotty meta where you want to be buffing your quick and buster cards. Then whenever you attack with your quick cards, you're going to get some star generation, and whenever you attack with your buster cards, you're going to get more crit damage. Both of those are 20% for 3 turns every time you attack with them. So buster cards effectively give you more damage. Quick cards give you more efficiency on stars. I kind of wish it was something aside from star gen that would have been a little bit better, because, you know, they just buff the quick chains, and you know how quick cards, if they lead the chain, they give you that additional 20% crit chance. So I kind of wish it was something a little bit better. But hey, it's not the worst thing in the world. But again, she is an assassin. Her natural star gen is already really high. She already has presence concealment as a passive, as well as riding, further buffing up her quick performance, which is also buffing the drop rate of her quick cards as well. So I think it's a little bit wasted, but I don't think it's the worst thing in the world, because at the very least, you are still stacking up crit damage. I just wish maybe it was like NP damage, NP gain, an attack buff, something along those lines would have been nice. But as a skill, it is rather solid. Then we move over to our second skill over here, and this is just rather solid. Pierce invincibility for 3 turns, 30% attack buff for 3 turns, and some pretty decent star weight for 1 turn on a 6-turn cooldown, which is going to make her really good, again, going into these more difficult quests, because Pierce invincibility is going to let you get around enemy dodges, enemy invincibility buffs, and then an additional attack is going to let her do some fairly decent damage, also guaranteeing the turn that you pop the skill, she's going to be able to do some pretty big crits. Again, I think this does lean her more into the category of being a boss killing or say like a CQ advanced quest oriented servant, something along those lines. And I guess we'll just cut over to her third skill as well, where she's getting the double dodge for 3 turns, buff removal resistance of 100% for 3 turns, and a 30% battery on a 6-turn cooldown. I think all of this combined definitely points her in the direction of, we want you to use this servant in more difficult quests, because how annoying is it going into a boss fight and they yeet all of your buffs off of you? It's really dummy annoying. This is guaranteed insulation for 3 turns, which especially for quick is an absolute major thing you want to have, because quick servants, with the way that Scotty functions, Scotty doesn't really have like a Merlin NP, a Lady Avalon, a Castoria style NP, where it's this really broken support. I mean, Caster Scotty's NP is good, but it's not something you're winning battles off of, right? It's not something you're relying on. Pretty much what you're doing every single time in quick setups is you're going in, dumping all your buffs on your quick DPS and trying to take down the boss while those buffs are up. So if you get those buffs removed, you're pretty much cooked. And Huyan gets around that by insulating herself and giving herself the ability to not have her stuff removed for those 3 turns, while ideally the Scotty skills have been placed upon her, which is very, very strong. The only unfortunate thing is I think she would shine just a little bit more if she was single target, because imagine this kit on a single target server. I mean, they'd almost be like a prototype version of the new Dantes that we just got over on the JP side of things, where she would be a pretty major boss killer that would be really, really strong. I mean, she could almost be like a Kama 2.0. in that she would be a really strong single target quick assassin that just you would want to break out for a lot of these different boss fights, and they wouldn't be stepping on each other's toes, unlike what's happening right now. Huyan with her kit and Britomart with her kit, the servant that's going to be releasing next, have very, very similar kits as AoE quick servants, and they just step on each other's toes and don't really allow one of the others to shine as well as I would like them to. Thankfully, if you look at her NP, she does have some unique effects over here. She gives herself a 20% quick buff as soon as she fires the NP, so basically, the turn that she fires the NP, she has a 50% quick buff if you have that first skill up. She does 150% extra damage against evil aligned enemies, and she also has a 40% chance to stun all enemies in the party. That does proc individually, so you might be getting some on some guys and some might whiff, but it is generally very, very helpful. It could technically be extra survivability if you do stun the entire enemy party, something along those lines. You can kind of think of it as kind of like, say, Waver's NP, but again, I think this would have been really, really strong on a single target servant. Unfortunately, they did go the AoE route. I just think releasing her right after Senno Rikyu is not a very good idea, because Senno Rikyu pretty much takes up the top quick looper right now. Like, everybody's going to be using her because she just does so much damage. And she's got some pretty decent power mods, and if you're not using her, you're using Voyager, Dantes, who are just as good. And Huyan just is really struggling to find a space in competition with some of those guys, and if you're going into a CQ or an advanced quest, you're probably going to bring a single target servant because they just straight up do more damage and can get you out of that fight a lot faster. Which is why it's with a very heavy heart that I can tell people you probably shouldn't summon for this servant. I mean, they're just not worth it. As much as I love them, and as much as I'm sure that I will love them after reading this event, they are not somebody you want to be spending your Saint Quartz on. You'll only see me go summon on this servant, you know, go balls deep on them, because I love this servant. I love their art. I love the idea for the character. They have really good CEs and stuff moving forward. I just want this servant, right? I really like their design. But if I was a newer player or someone that's trying to min-max their Saint Quartz, of course I'm not going to be summoning on this banner. I'm waiting for the supports to come out later on this year. I'm waiting for Kukulkan to come out. I'm waiting for the collab servants, the next anniversary servant, summer servants, these guys that are way more broken. Because those servants are actually like account difference makers. They will change how you play on your account and will elevate it up a couple of levels, whereas Huyan is just not really that. So again, I love this servant to bits. You're going to see me summon on them on Monday, live on stream. Link down in the description down below if you want to be there. But I don't advise newer players to go on this banner. She's fine, right? But like, you're probably just never really going to use her. But with that being said, if you are going to be summoning on Huyan, let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to see other Huyan stands come out and help me out in the comments down below. Instead of you using this video as a catalyst, I'm stealing everybody's luck. I'm glorbing it all down. And so I'm stealing the entire community's luck, so I can guarantee that I get myself Huyan over here. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. There's no double upload today because I'm going to be going to visit some grandparents and will unfortunately not have the time to get a video out. So unfortunately, no double upload today. Double uploads should maybe be back like Monday, Tuesday when I get back into town. But that being said, I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace, late guys.